everyone, it's Neenah. Thanks for joining me today for a new tutorial. I'm using some new products from Gina Designs and Spellbinders today to create this beautiful watercolored floral image that you see here. This is from a new Gina Designs stamp set, and I love this image so much. I couldn't wait to color it. I'm going to be using my favorite Daniel Smith and Prima watercolors to color in this image, which I've stamped onto Arches cold press watercolor paper with antique linen distress ink. I'm also going to be using some foiling products that are new from Spellbinders, but we'll get to those in just a minute. Let's first talk about this image. I love the beautiful detail of these florals, and I couldn't wait to color them in with my watercolors and do a no-line watercoloring of them. No-line watercoloring is really fun because it challenges you to step outside the lines and give yourself a little bit more freedom with the coloring. And you get this beautiful hand-painted image that looks like you actually colored this all by yourself. But, of course, we know that we had the trick of stamping this image first. And I think that's really fun to be able to get that really beautiful artistic look in a lot more simpler than just hand-painting something right from the get-go. Now I'm going to go ahead and keep coloring this image, and I'll talk a little bit about what I did here. So for the bigger leaves, I used a mix of teal and green and a little bit of blue to get those beautiful variations in the leaves. The smaller leaves, I used some of that beautiful aqua color, and I added purple to the tips of some of the stems that are scattered about this floral image. For the flowers themselves, I used a beautiful quinacridone coral and a beautiful purple color from Prima. These really beautiful muted tones really look so nice with the other colors that I've used here throughout this image. It gives this a very moody appearance with all of these different toned colors, and I really love how all of these work together to create a really beautiful image. As I'm coloring, I'm working in layers to get some depth to these flowers. I want to make sure that they don't look overly flat by just having one flat wash, but I also didn't want them to be too detailed where it took tons and tons of time to actually color this image in. It did take me probably about an hour or so to color this entire image, and I was taking my time too. So you could probably color this a little bit faster than I did, but I wanted to take my time and add those layers. In the center of each of the flowers, I used a beautiful yellow tone. I really love this color. And like I said, I moved on to purple for this larger floral. The two smaller florals are in the quinacridone coral, and then the largest flower is with the purple. There is no die for this stamp set, or at least I don't think there is, so I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut this image out. I used my fine tip cutter bee scissors to cut this. I used Arches cold press watercolor paper, and this cut pretty easily with these fine tip cutter bee scissors. Next, I'm going to work on the foiling. So there's these new Essentials dies and hot foil plates from Spellbinders. These are really pretty. I'm going to foil this dotted pattern onto another piece of that Arches watercolor paper. So the first thing I need to do is to let this foil plate heat up inside of my foil press. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this into the machine. So after this die has heated up, I'm going to lay it face down onto my paper and my foil. I'm using this really pretty rose gold foil. I really love the color of this. And I am going to tape it down so that way it doesn't move as I put this into my foil machine and also then my die cut machine to sandwich that foil into the paper. So I'll go ahead and run this through my die cut machine, and when I remove that, you'll see I have this beautiful foiled pattern in my paper. Now I did have a slight area where it didn't foil all the way, but I'm going to end up covering that up with my die cut image, so I'm not real worried about that. But if that wasn't going to get covered up, I would have refoiled this to get that really perfect foiled impression. I cut that foiled pattern out with the coordinating die. It was the largest die from the set. And now I'm going to work on assembling my card. So the next thing I need to do is stamp a sentiment. And there's some beautiful sentiments inside this new Gina Designs stamp set, which I do have linked below in the video description or over at my blog. I'm going to heat emboss this with some antique gold embossing powder from Simon Says Stamp, fussy cut the sentiment out, and pop it up onto my floral cluster. Next, I'm going to pop that entire floral cluster off of my foiled square. Using some foam tape, I'm just going to lay this into the center, and you're going to see how this looks really pretty, layered, that has this great foiled texture on it. This gives a lot of really beautiful elegance to this floral arrangement. To finish things up, I use some sparkling clear sequins here and there around the florals for a little bit of extra shine. This adds some great texture to the image, and it's also going to give a slight magical appearance. The toned colors look great mounted onto some Neenah Desert Storm cardstock for the card base, and that's going to finish up my card today using this new Gina K Designs stamp set and new foil plates from Spellbinders. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll stop by my blog to get more information on the card, including still pictures and products used. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I will be back again very soon with more to share, and until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!